Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. This is Shawn. I am the Divine Feminine Abolitionist, and we are free. I came just to do a short little video on a check-in, like where are you at? Do you understand the placement of the moon? And I also wanted to come and I said that I was going to start doing uploads of just simply stating, you know, the truths of Ma'at. What are those truths? The 42 truths of Ma'at. Some people call them different things. I call them the truths of Ma'at just because that's what my soul resonates. And so I recite these every morning and I go over them at the night and I kind of do a self check on, you know, where I met the goal of honoring those truths and where I didn't. And so the first one is I am in alliance with divine order and truth. And how apropos is that to be to make that statement, because Ma'at in herself is the representation, the embodiment of balance, of cosmic order and justice and truth and harmony. And the whole point of aligning with Ma'at energy is that you want balance in life. And that's acquired in a lot of different ways. I mean, it's not monolithic. It's a range. Wherever people find themselves in life, they will find, if they are seeking balance in their life, they will find whichever path they need. I'm going to read from the Moonology deck, because I've read a lot of different comments in terms about where we are, where the 8/8 portal will be. And the truth of when the portal is opening, the moon will be waxing. We've already passed the new moon in August, which was a new moon in Leo. So we're past that stage of where the phase of the moon is. And if you're ever like in a quandary and really don't know, you can always Google what is the current phase of the moon, and it'll kind of tell you what planetary alignments are. Like, you can just, if you're feeling vibes and energy, especially if you connect in your chart, in any chart that you do, and if you connect to moon energy at all, you kind of want to follow it and figure out what things are and have a relationship to it. Right now we're in crescent moon, which means the moon is waxing. And waxing is a term that means that the moon is building, on its cycle. And this is an amazing place to be, because this energy, when I was a little girl, I saw the crescent moon as like, depending on where my energy was, it was either like a spoon for me to scoop up something good, and that, the woman who lived on the moon was going to bring me something good, or it was like a tool that I could use to cut away whatever was not serving me. And I guess, in the spirit of honoring who I am as that little girl, I still have that. And the crescent moon is very special to me. I mean, it has been so symbolic in the course of my life. But anyway, this particular card says, have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon, and you can see all of the purples and grays and shades, and where the crescent is at the time. And then when we go to the energy of the actual waxing moon, like how we have progressed, in terms of this, and all the violets and purples, and you can look at it for yourself. But I wanted to use this analogy of, the waxing moon is like this. Do you see the cup half empty or half full? I've always been a half full person. And, it is what it is. But I wanted to focus on what I'm trying to scoop up. with this crescent moon, what I'm trying to, what I am manifesting, trying to be impeccable with my words. So what I am manifesting in this is that energy of that little girl, the energy of that little girl who had conversations with the moon, who was extremely imaginative, extremely carefree, kind of reuniting with her and going into union with her. So that is the person that I'm going into union with in this portal, that energy. And in addition to that, there's this language that has been coming to me in terms of the Lord's Prayer, because I feel like everything that we come across in life is to help us open to our divinity. And although I'm not a Christian and I don't follow that particular faith, it has had an influence on me, and I do use that scripture as a sacred source, a tool. So in kind of studying a little bit about this Lord's Prayer that Yeshua yielded, I was thinking about the idea of forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors, is some of the language that's sometimes used, and also forgive our trespassers as we forgive those who trespass against us. And one of the laws, positive one of the positive recitations of one of the laws of Ma'at is, I will speak life over my trespassers. And it's like that really expanded my mind in this ideology of I learned something, two particular things. There's a phrase that says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So when you think about that and you use the energy of resource of, or the tool of returning energy to somebody that sends negative energy to you, that is definitely a powerful thing to do, is to return it and block it. And we're capable of doing that. Yeshua was very good at blocking energy, and one of the ways we do that is that we meditate. One of the ways that we do that is that we stand up for people. We advocate for people who can't advocate for themselves, and we balance things out with receiving and giving. So one of the ways that what I've been talking to Divine Goddess Mother Father about is this ideology of, when I return the energy, I do announce, return this energy, especially when I know that it's negative, like having a stalker, having gang stalkers, having people project negative energy onto me because of wherever they're at with their consciousness. As I return that thing, I also ask that you return it multiplied in the spirit and intention that they sent it. However, I also ask that you transmute that thing, that it can be a tool to serve them so that they become their highest selves, because our purpose is that we each one teach one so that we all grow. And as long as we are in this attitude, well, I'm just only looking out for me, and it stops there, then I don't know how we ever evolve beyond people who are still in 2022 having conversations about faulty politics, and still 2022 how we're having conversations about gender, how we're still having 2022 when we're having conversations and we're getting blindsided about race, we're getting blindsided about women's reproduction issues, we're getting blindsided about the patriarchy and all of the energy that the patriarchy is currently in. The patriarchy is going to be where the patriarchy is, because it operates from a spirit of fear, false evidence appearing real. But not only operates from, the foundation of patriarchy is from fear. Fear of this sense of, I will lose control, or I don't have control. And there's a difference between control and authority. And when you have abused your authority you do lose control and you do go into manic states, and that's why we have the kind of patriarchal system that we have now. And this whole ideology of group think, that everybody needs to all think the same, all operate the same. Like, it's just insanity. Like, you can just use the nature as your example of life. Like, all flowers are not, they don't look exactly alike. All plants don't produce the same vegetation, the same vegetable, the same fruit. It's like the diaspora of variety that we have and that we are so afraid of is the essential thing that makes us life itself. And to fight the truth of who we are is just a ridiculous and waste of time. So getting back to this ideology of transmuting the energy so that it transmutes into a tool, because if somebody is sending you a weapon, we can just think symbolically. They're sending you a weapon, and if you return it to them as is, then it's going to harm them. And the thing is, they may have sent it to you with the intention of harm, but when you send it back, I'm saying, I'm not trying to send you harm. I'm sending you what you sent me, but I'm sending it to you with a little something something on it, because that's how powerful I am. I'm sending it to you multiplied, which means the energy is way more powerful, because I'm coming from a place of purity and pure light, and I'm not trying to hurt you at all. I'm sending you back what you sent to me, and I'm transmuting it into a tool that will help you cut out all the madness that's in you that would even come for me when I didn't send for you. And that you carve out the things in your life that you need to work on, that you can begin to focus on you and not project externally, because all of that energy that you send somebody, if it's not uplifting them, if it's not raising the vibrational level, then what is the point? It's just really a waste, and we have enough waste on the planet, especially energetically. So I wanted to bring that point. And the other point is, forgive us of our debts. I had to go through a long, dark night of the soul period and a long ascension into Empress rising energy to come to the consciousness that the union that I was blessed to be divorced from, it was me healing karmic debt. It was the gift. It was the gift of me healing karmic debt. So all of the pain and all of the other stuff, it's like it had to happen to push me to the next level. And so in saying, forgive my karmic debt as I forgive my karmic debtor, like, you really have to be willing to forgive a karmic debtor. And I want to be very clear, forgiving a karmic debtor, I will use the best example as I can, Judas and Yeshua. After Judas, even before Judas did what he did, it was like Yeshua kissed Judas on the forehead and said, go ahead and do what you got to do, because you got to do it. And afterwards, after it was all over and the resurrection happened, Judas tried to approach the energy of Yeshua, who had already ascended. This was ascended Yeshua. Ascended Yeshua would not allow Judas in its energy, because once you ascend, you don't need an apology. You can forgive and move on. And there's some people who don't need to be in your energy anymore because they're still operating at low vibrations. And that's why Yeshua said, hey, don't touch me. Don't put your, wherever your vibes are at the moment, don't put that on me. So he would not allow Judas. And that was not a place of unforgiveness. That was just a thing of, hey, the deed is done. I've forgiven you. We've moved on, and it is what it is. And how you move and navigate beyond this point is your choice. And it's like, I want to make that very clear, because a lot of people believe that forgiving karmic debt or being a forgiver is that you have to carry on in relationship with people. Some people you may choose to continue a relationship with. But even people who you have blood tie links with doesn't mean, if they do a transgression against you, forgiving them does not mean that you they are entitled to your energy. If their energy is raising your vibrational level, then it would be fine. But if there's a possibility that where they are is going to bring your vibrational down, then there really is no point of being around it. So I just wanted to offer that you walk in the spirit of forgiving karmic debt, forgiving karmic debtor. And it is an active thing. It is not just something you say, it's something you state. Forgiving karmic debt is owning your crap, and then going about the planet of you. Some things you can never like go back. Like, you can't go back and apologize to people who have passed away. You can't go back and apologize to people who are not willing to accept an apology for you. You can't go back and reinvent the past. The only thing you can do is move forward and do no harm. And then some of the harm that you have done, the way that you clear that is one, make a commitment to do no harm, and at the time do as much good as you possibly can. And that's what we can do, and that's what we're here for. It's like taking stock of who we are and what we've done on the planet, and how we transcend this heaven on earth. How we have this as above, now below, is the way we navigate the planet. So I hope that you are enjoying the wax and crescent moon energy that is in your life right now. I hope that you are blessed beyond measure, and I hope that you take those blessings and that you multiply them, and that you raise your vibrational energy as high as it can possibly be. And that when you find yourself slipping, because I find it's very frustrating being exposed to stalkers. It's very frustrating being exposed to people who have decided that I am the person I was in my past, and that they want to hold energy of hatred, anger, rage, unresolution, whatever, against me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me, because I don't even live in a past that no longer exists. But I know that sometimes we as humans, we hold in mind an experience that we had with somebody, and that's all we know, and we're not willing to grow beyond that or to live beyond that, and it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So it's very frustrating when that energy gets projected onto me, or projected onto me from family culture, or group culture, or tribe culture, that says this is who you are, this is who we deem you to be, and that is not who you are. It's heavy to move forward and keep your vibrational level, but it is imperative that you do so, that you have a spiritual practice that you honor and that you are true to. And just understand that temptation comes. Temptation is the gift that you get to be in alignment with your free will. Because what is the point of having free will if it's never tested? Because you're just going around like a zombie, like you're just going along with the thing, free and doing the thing that you think source wants you to do. Temptation comes along to let you know, one, who you really are. It lets you know your levels of integrity. It lets you know your levels of honor. It lets you know what you need to work on. All of the things that, and the adversarial force knows you just as well as, it's the same. It is the same thing. There's no division in source. So it's divinity showing itself up as adversary. So basically it's God showing itself as the adversary to show you who you are, to show you what you need to do, to show you in the areas that you need to pray, to show you that the areas that you need to expose yourself and say, this is me. I struggle with this consciousness. I struggle with this belief source, and I did a thing that I knew that if I did this thing, it would cause this to, we don't have to hide anything from the source of supply. We don't have to hide, because it is already written, it is already known. So anyway, I just wanted to come by and encourage you into that, to be the soul who forgives your debt, forgive your karmic debt. And when I say forgive, actively forgive it by doing good, and forgive your karmic debtors. People are sending energy and return it multiply, and return it transmuted. Just like, you would want energy to come to you pure, in its purest form. All right, peace and blessings. Be well.